Well guys, I had to put my Krone t-shirt on for this one today. We are demoing something pretty special. The Varipack balers by Krone aren't necessarily brand new to the market anymore, but this one is. This is the Varipack V190 XC Plus. Krone's given us the opportunity to throw some bales through this and be one of the first in North America to do so. This is one of 2 balers in North America. Yes, these have been out overseas for a year or 2 now, and they've been having great success, and now they're finally coming to North America for us to play with. This baler is capable of essentially more hay in a 4x6 bale than a 5x6 bale, and we're gonna prove that here today. So nothing to it but to do it. This baler is no joke, guys. This is insane. This camless pickup on the baler loves to eat, and it's already got poly pickup bands. We're big fans of those on balers, and the height of the bands is drastically higher, as well as the compression bar that is pushing down the hay as it comes into the pickup is doing a perfectly floating job. It's following the top of the swath, and it's feeding a perfect laid over swath onto that camless pickup. This thing likes to eat. That's a bit of a characteristic with Krone balers. They like to eat. Our Comprina silage baler, same thing. Heavy silage crops, that thing loves to eat. We're putting a lot of material through here, and it's not complaining. It's not complaining at all. And talk about efficiency though, at these speeds and at that processing quantity per hour, you know, we're still only burning 16 to 19 liters per hour max. This last bale, I saw a lot of 12 and 13 liter per hour. So whatever the engineers over at Krone did, this thing's efficient to pull. There, one big thing I noticed that this baler has way less rollers that the belts have to go around than a typical round baler. So they aren't routed over, you know, 15 different rollers. This baler has less quantity of rollers, so that's going to help quite a bit with the efficiency of power needed to pull this baler. This thing's impressive. It's too bad this thing's not for sale yet in North America. I kind of want one. Can't afford it. Spent too much money on a drill this year. Oh, just kidding. We love that drill. Never would I have thought that I'd be the guy to be giving a testimonial to a company as good and as large as Krone. You know, we've converted from other brands, and we really like the direction we're going with Krone's forage gear and hay gear and their equipment in general, and they're great people to work with. You know, we're very big advocates and passionate about the equipment that they build, and we'll jump at the chance to endorse or promote a product that we believe in. So it was a pretty automatic yes when we were asked if we would do a testimonial for Krone. Hey guys, just checking moisture here. Always good to check out and see how the baler's doing. Whatever piece of equipment it is you're running, I guess, but check this out. 8.5%. We were already light earlier this afternoon on moisture. We're at 9.5. The amazing thing though is we don't have a lot of leaf loss. And I'm wondering if you guys can tell in the background, we have visibility of not even a mile. So 1.6 kilometers. That smoke is coming from a town called Jasper, Alberta. There's a major wildfire up there. That's about a 2.5 hour drive, I think, from us. And the town is, I think, on fire right now. So as much fun as we're having here with the new baler and we're complaining about the smoke, you can't help but feel sorry for all the people that are losing their properties up in Jasper. But back to the moisture here. The reason I think we're doing okay and not getting a lot of leaf loss is actually because of the smoke. It was a very hot day today, but no real intense sunlight. So because the smoke is hovering right above the soil's surface, we didn't really receive all that sun. This field should have probably been baled yesterday, but we just couldn't get it done fast enough. But because the field didn't get that extra sun, it's almost like the UV rays didn't really dry or over cure the hay. So yes, it's completely over dry from a moisture perspective, but we're not really losing the leaves either. So hopefully that's because, you know, the rotary rake has tines that have a kick in the bottom of the tine and they actually carry the hay. So the rake, when you follow the ground and watch the rake, we're not losing leaves from the rake. If we're going to lose them anywhere, it's from the baler. But the baler's also doing a good job. So maybe that camless pickup and all the new technology in this baler are working with us right now. So thanks again, Crone, for letting us play with this new baler. Pretty exciting. Never thought I'd be doing this. I'm going to show you guys a little something here. We are baling at about 13 or 14 kilometers an hour, and this baler is eating it up. It loves it. This thing loves traveling fast. It's awesome. And the pickup is following the ground perfectly. And this baler's also quieter than any baler I've seen too. Really hard to pick it apart. When I start off and slow down, I slow down to 9 or 10 kilometers an hour, but then I get her back up to speed once the core of the bale's formed. And yeah, we're doing 14 kilometers an hour here in a very heavy swath. We're probably getting 3 to 4 of these big bales an acre. These bales are weighing just shy of, well, probably about 1350, and we're making a bale in just under 2 minutes. Watch how fast the gate goes up and down. Start the timer now. And I'm moving again. So from the time there that I said start the timer, that was from the knife of the net wrap system cutting the net wrap. You can hear it go click, and as soon as it hits click, the gate is starting to open and that bale's on its way out. This thing has an incredibly fast unload time. All right, guys, here's the test. I'm just gonna unload this bale, and as soon as that gate's closed, we're gonna start the timer and I'm gonna start accelerating. Start the timer now. I'm accelerating. The speedometer is bouncing a little bit here between 13.5 kilometers an hour and about 14.8 kilometers an hour. And as you can see, that baler, that pickup is eating. This is awesome. We are already at 140 centimeters out of 178 centimeter target bale size. And obviously they watch the counter here in the corner. That's my warning to start slowing down. I'm coming to a stop. Net wrap is wrapping. We're putting 4 wraps of net wrap on. It's about ready to cut. Net wrap is cut, bale's out, gate's coming down. Stop the timer. I am propelling myself forward. How long was that? Flash that time up in the corner. That is impressive. Oh man, this thing wants to eat. If we owned one of these, I could spend more time at home with my family. That's gonna be my sales pitch to my wife. But honey, look at how much more time I could be at home instead of baling. How many more acres could we get done in a day? Maybe we could expand the farm, take on a few more acres if we had a baler like this. All right, guys, I'm gonna do something silly. I don't want to plug the baler, but well, I'm gonna try. Let's see how fast we can get this thing going without plugging. I'm in the swath directly beside where we just were. Very, very similar yield, obviously. Our lowest speed on the speedometer is about 14.5, but we're averaging between 15.5 and 16.5 kilometers an hour. Well, guys, I did it. I didn't want to do it. I wasn't trying to do it, but I plugged it. I plugged the Baler. The Krone Varipack V190 XE Plus. We got into a thick spot. We went through a little bit of a low ground and I plugged it. I was driving a little bit too fast and I didn't realize the yield changed so much. So there's proof it can plug. I was doing 16.5 kilometers an hour and I was putting through those last 3 bales and it was not even breaking a sweat. And then I hit the little dip right here, that little bit of a dip. The alfalfa might have been a little bit wetter. We're at about 12.5, 13% moisture here right now. Anyways, I guess we're gonna try out that new hydraulic drop floor that this baler has. You can hydraulically, via the computer in the cab, drop the floor of the baler. So in a plug situation, you can actually drop the floor and all of that material will get thumped up and sucked up into the bale. You don't even have to drop it on the ground. So let me just educate myself real quickly on how to do that and I'll be right back to you. Hang on. So now that I've read the ops manual, can't have the tractor at an idle and the pickup needs to be all the way up. I've got the drop floor dropped. Let's see if it sucks that material into the baler. Huh. It's beeping at me. I did something wrong. Hang on. Oh, guys, you won't believe this. We were running the PTO in eco mode and that was the reason it won't unplug. I thought it was something I was doing. Well, I guess it was. So food for thought. If you guys are ever dropping the drop floor on a Krone, well, I'll actually say the Comprina probably and the Varipack, and you do have a plug and you're dropping the drop floor, take the tractor out of eco mode and drop the drop floor and then turn the PTO on, the plug will go away. That was my problem as I was in eco mode. Watch this. She gone. All right, so we just ran out of net wrap in the Krone V190 XE Plus baler. This is super cool. It holds 3 rolls of net wrap. So we've got this one untied. Pull out the net wrap loading arm and it swings out your net wrap roll. Obviously we're using tier 1 star net material from Novatex for its high braking strength. When you're putting up these high density bales, you need a better quality net wrap. Well, you need the best quality. I know there's lots out there, but we like the products from Novatex. Oh, and I've got this loaded wrong, so I'm gonna just cut these ties real quick and switch it around. We have an empty wrap in here. We've just run out of net wrap. We lift up this tension roll. Always lift from the handles. Don't put your hands anywhere other than handles. There are a few pinch points when doing this, given that things are spring loaded. Grab this lever here. Good thing the wind's going that way. And we'll take our cardboard roll and just throw it on the garbage before it blows away. This is what's super cool about the Krone system and this loading arm. Everything's on ball bearings, very little lifting required. Drop that lock down, take the gauge out. That's what keeps the net roll centered in the baler. You have several notches here to choose from. So you just pull that out, it's already on a chain. And drop it into the corresponding marks. You want about a 2 millimeter play or clearance on there and the core of your net wrap. You want to pull about 2 meters worth of material off of the roll. We're gonna go underneath the roller. Then we're gonna go over top of this rolling silver roller. There's a really good diagram if you can see it at the back, but I'm just gonna walk you guys through it. Okay, so we've gone down below the rubber roller, up and over the silver roller. And now we are going to just make sure the slack is pulled on the net wrap, grab our lever, holding it by the handle areas only, lower this compression roller. This is where Krone has thought of everything, is there is steps so you can get up and good access into the front of the baler for tying this net wrap. So again, this is what makes a front mount load on the Krone baler so easy. We are going to throw our tail of material over top towards the center of these two green bars. There are some teeth right down here, and this handle goes up and down, and those teeth move the net wrap into the arm that feeds the net wrap and the cutter knife to tie the bale. So what I prefer to do is take a bit of the wad of material, fold it over, put it on top of that knife pusher, and now the tail will fall. Give it a few punches, and that knife will push the tail about 10 centimeters into the auger system into the baler. Again, make sure that the compression roll or bar is down. So this tail down here is currently too long, so we're just going to take our knife and cut off the excess. With the 10 centimeters of excess that is above the auger system and knife system of the baler, when we go to tie our next bale, that 10 centimeters is going to get pushed in and activated with the net wrap system, and that 10 inches is going to catch in the bale, start tying, you're on your way. This baler can haul 3 rolls. The rolls we're using, I believe, today are 12,500 feet. We can bale all day with 3 rolls of net wrap. Versus balers, a lot of balers we've run only have 2 rolls of storage. This has 3, so pretty big advantage there. And as well, this is the first baler we've run that's front load net wrap. We've heard a lot of horror stories about other people struggling with that. Krone has found their way around it, and that is easy. We almost think that this is easier to load than it is other rear mount net wrap systems. Switched out again with Dad. We're back in the John Deere baler to compare the bales in this field. I'm in the rake, he's in the John Deere baler behind the fast track, so we're gonna see how fast he can do some of these bales, and I have an idea. So I am gonna pick up a round bale, this one in particular, and I am gonna put it over here. All right, what I did here is show you a bit of a comparison. 5-foot round bale, 4-foot round bale. This one came out of the Krone Varipack V190 XC Plus. This one came out of a John Deere 568 round bale. And so as you can see, they are almost the same height, an inch or a couple centimeters off. Let's check the density. And here comes Dad. We might just wait a sec before he dusts us out. Check out how fast he's going. I told him we have to run that John Deere as fast as it can run, because that Krone Varipack set the bar high. All right, I have not put my hand in one of these bales yet. This is the John Deere bale. I can get in about to my knuckles. Not so much in the middle of the bale. It is pretty dense in the middle, but we get out past the middle core area, and I could keep going. I've got most of my hand in there. So this is one of the coolest reasons to go and play or look into one of these Varipack balers. And again, we are not sponsored by Krone. This is not something that we're being paid to say. This is something that we're exploring on our own time and money. Check this out. The density in any of the bale is going to be perfectly consistent. You have 3 density zones in the bale. I can't quite get to my knuckles. My knuckles being the ends of my fingers. Okay, so the very end of the bale. I can get my fingers in, but I can't get them to my knuckles. So let's call this, I think it's zone 3 on the Baler density chart on the Krone. Let's go into number 2. I can't get past the first bend in my fingers. Let's go to zone 1. Again, I can't get my fingers, and I don't have that fat of fingers. I can't get my fingers into the bale until I go to the very outside of the bale. Where you see here, I got pretty big hands, and I was under 6 inches from the outside of the bale. The density in these 4x6 round bales from the Krone Varipack are absolutely amazing. So yes, this is not a 5-foot wide bale. 4-foot bale out of the Krone Varipack V190, 5-foot bale out of John Deere 568 round baler. Yes, the 4-foot bale is a smaller bale, but there's more hay in it. We haven't taken anything to the scale yet, other than we've taken out of the other field, we've taken 3 round bales from the Krone Varipack baler, and they were a little bit over dry, and those bales were weighing 1,250 pounds a piece out of the Krone Varipack. We got to give this beautiful new baler back to Krone. We're done our dry hay, we've played with it, we love it so far. The name might be a handful, but for good reason. That baler's got some options. It packs a punch. That baler likes to eat. That's gonna put up good quality hay. Like most forage producers, speed is your biggest advantage. And when you can have quality with speed, you've got a pretty special implement. And we always look at any implement we buy, how is it gonna make us a better farmer, a better forage producer? If you can have a baler that can do your straw, your dry hay, and some haylage all in one piece of equipment, and that's going to be built for the long term with a commercial spec design like that, that's super impressive. So we hope one of these can come to the farm. Thank you very much, Krone and Noble Equipment, for that. That was a fantastic opportunity, and we got to get back to work. Our Comprima is wanting to stretch her legs too. We like our Krone hay and equipment. We like what it lets us do. We do think it makes us better farmers and putting up better product. We're not saying what we're doing is right and what everyone else is doing wrong, by no means. This is just what we do and what works for us. All right, guys, thanks for watching this episode. I know it might have been a little bit salesy, but you know what? When we get onto a product that's as impressive as this, we just wanted to talk about it and share it with you guys. So if you guys are in the market for a round baler, go to your local Krone dealer and check out the Varipack V190 XC Plus. You won't be disappointed.